बहुत टाइम ले रहा लाइव जाने में. Hello candidates, how are you? Good evening. Am I audible? Please write in the comment section. I am audible. How is the picture quality? Good evening, Harshita. How is the picture quality? Am I audible? Let me share the screen also and then you tell me how is the picture quality. Okay, wait 1 second. Let me share the screen. Good evening, good evening, good evening. So I hope today picture quality is better. Okay. We will wait for 4 more minutes and then we will start. Buffering is there. Yeah, actually, yeah, maybe buffering will be there because of the weather condition. It is raining here. So maybe because of this weather condition, buffering is there. Okay, okay. So how are you? How's your studies going? You have revised the previous MCQs? So as requested, today's MCQs, majority of questions will be related to labor laws and labor codes. Okay, so out of 25 questions, majority of the questions will be related to labor laws and labor codes. Okay. Okay, so majority of the questions will be related to labor laws and labor codes today. Okay. 3 more minutes, then we will start at 7:05. Let other candidates also join. Please share the link of this live session with other aspirants. Double tap the screen, like this session, show some support to this session. Double tap the screen. Tell me about the codes of labor laws. So Ria, if you are new to this, then there are 4 labor laws, 4 labor codes that was implemented last year, 21st of November 2025. Okay, if you want detailed information about the labor codes, you can message me on Telegram. Good evening, Vidya. Good evening, Shivam. Okay, so we will wait for 2 more minutes, then we will start. Okay. So today majority of the questions will be related to labor laws and labor codes. Like some questions will be there related to other HR subjects, other HR chapters, but majority of the questions will be labor laws and labor codes. Okay. So I hope keep the pen and paper with you and recording will be there. So you can revise later also. How's your studies going? Do you have any specific doubt? We can make the MCQs related to that. If you have any specific doubt, we can make the MCQs related to that. Yes, civil is required. Some right now, like to last few years, candidate civil is required. Separate theoretical video now, I think it may not be possible because of the shortage of time. Because labor courts are lengthy, it will take around 3 hours, 3.5 hours, more than 3 hours. So due to the shortage of time and since exam is approaching, so if you want separate, then you can connect me on Telegram. Masi, can you please repeat your query? Can you please again type your query? We will still have 1 minute. We will start after 1 minute. Okay. Okay, chalo, let's start at 7:05. Let's see the first question. So the first question of today's session is, Under the Code on Wages, which of the following statement under the Code on Wages 2019, which of the following statement regarding the floor wage is correct? Statement 1, the central government may fix a floor wage considering the minimum living. Statement 2, the state government cannot fix the minimum wage below the floor wage fixed by the central government. Only statement 1 is correct, only statement 2 is correct. Both statement 1 and 2 are correct. Neither statement 1 nor 2 is correct. So what is the correct answer? If you have read this code, you must be familiar with the concept of floor wage. What is the correct option? Statement option 1, A, B, C or D. Write the option. The central government may fix the floor wage considering the minimum living standard, and the state government cannot fix the minimum wage below the floor wage fixed by the central government. So Mansi answered option A, Priya option C, Ayushi option A, Priya option C, Ria A, C, A, both are correct. Both are correct, Shubham. So please specify the option A, B, C, D. Shubham answered option C. Okay, let's see the correct answer. Yes, correct answer is option C. Both statements are correct. See, if you have read this topic concept of floor wage, so I tell you, don't get confused. Both the statement are correct. Okay, so floor wage is fixed by central government and floor wage is same nationwide. Got it? On the other hand, state government fix the minimum wage. Okay, there are two different concepts, floor wage and minimum wage. When the question is asking about floor wage, so floor wage is always fixed by central government considering the minimum living standard, and that floor wage is same pan India. Okay, that floor wage will be same for every state. So statement 1 is correct. Statement 2 is correct. Why? Because state government will fix the minimum wage. Okay, so who will be responsible for fixing the minimum wage? State government, but there is a condition: minimum wage cannot be less than floor wage. For example, I give you the example. Suppose central government fix the floor wage at rupees 10,000 per month salary. Okay, 10,000 per month wage, floor wage has been fixed by the central government. Now, when we talk about the particular state, so state government will fix the minimum wage. That minimum wage cannot be less than floor wage. That minimum wage cannot be less than rupees 10,000. It will always be more than 10,000. Okay? It will be 10,000, 12,000, 11,000, 15,000, whatever will be. Minimum wage is always more than floor wage. So here in statement 2, you have to remember 2 points. First, minimum wage is fixed by state government. Second point, minimum wage is always more than floor wage. And minimum wage, as you know, as I told you, minimum wage is fixed by state government. So it will be different for every state. UP state has different minimum wage. Okay, like Karnataka state has different minimum wage. Gujarat state has different minimum wage. So minimum wage will be different for all the state, but whatever be the minimum wage, it should be more than floor wage. Got it? So therefore, both these statements are true. So therefore, option C is correct answer. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 2. Which of the following labor codes has introduced the concept of negotiating union and negotiating council to streamline collective bargaining? Code on Wages 2019, Code on Social Security 2020, Industrial Relation Code 2020, Occupational Safety Health Working Condition Code 2020. What is the correct answer? Which of the following labor code has introduced the concept of negotiating union and negotiating council. So option C, C, C. Other candidates, what is the correct answer? Option C, C, C. Other candidates? Okay, so let's see the correct answer. Yes, correct answer is option C, Industrial Relation Code. Since negotiating union and negotiating council, these two terms comes under the trade union. Okay, and you have read Trade Union Act has been merged under Industrial Relation Code. In Industrial Relation Code, three acts have been merged: Trade Union, Industrial Dispute Act, and Employment Standing Order Act. Okay, so this is the concept of negotiating union and negotiating council. This concept has been brought in Industrial Relation Code 2020. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 3. A manufacturing unit employing 350 workers intend to retrench employees due to automation. Before retrenchment, management must primarily ensure compliance with Code on Wages 2019, Industrial Relation Code 2020, Code on Social Security 2020 or Equal Remuneration Provision only. Okay, so retrenchment will come under which code? Okay, so compliance related to retrenchment will come under which code? Akriti answered option B. Other candidates? Priya Darshini answered option B. Shubham option B. Other candidates? Bhavna, Kanika, Harshita, Riya. Naveen answered option A. Kanika answered option B. Okay. Let's see the answer. So correct answer is option B, Industrial Relation Code. See, candidates, these terms like retrenchment, layoff, closure, strike, lockout, all these terms are related to Industrial Relation Code. Okay, why? Because see, when any organization is laying off its employees or when any organization is retrenching its employees, so that is the concept under industrial dispute. Okay, if any employee is not happy with the layoff, if any employee is not happy with the retrenchment, then that matter will be come under industrial dispute, and industrial dispute comes under Industrial Relation Code. Okay, I told you just now, Industrial Dispute Act comes under Industrial Relation Code. So therefore, all these terms like retrenchment, layoff, strike, lockout, closure, all these terms comes under Industrial Relation Code 2020. Got it? Naveen, I hope you get the answer. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Question number 4. Which of the following is the best example of constructive dismissal? Which of the following is the best example of constructive dismissal? An employee is terminated for misconduct after a disciplinary inquiry. An employee resigned because the employer has substantially altered working condition, making continued employment unreasonable. An employee voluntarily retires after completing qualifying service. An employee resign to pursue higher education. So, what is the meaning of constructive dismissal? Mansi answered option B, Akriti B, Naveen B. Other candidates, what is the correct answer? So, here you have to understand the meaning of constructive dismissal. Priyadarshini answered option A, Kanika B, Shubham A, Bhavna B. Okay, let's see the answer. Correct answer is option B. Resignation due to substantial, altered, unreasonable working condition created by employer. See, you have to understand the definition of constructive dismissal. So, Constructive dismissal will be always because of employer. Okay, in all other options employee reason is given. In all remaining options like option A, C and D, employee is resigning because of his reason. Okay, like employee is terminated for misconduct, so it is the fault of employee that he did some misconduct. In option C also, employee voluntarily retires, employee is resigning by his own will. In option D also, employee resigns to pursue the higher education. So in all the options, employee is resigning by his own will or because of his own misconduct. Okay, so therefore constructive criticism means where the employee is resigning because of the default of the employer, because of the default of the organization. So that is the definition of constructive dismissal. So whenever there is the term constructive dismissal, always remember employee is resigning because of the default of the employer organization. Got it? Let's move on to the next question. Question number 5. Which of the following distinguishes the layoff from retrenchment? Layoff permanently terminates the employment, whereas retrenchment is temporary. Layoff is generally due to temporary inability of the employer to provide work, whereas retrenchment permanently reduces the surplus labor. Both terms have identical legal meaning. Retrenchment applies only to government employees. So, what is the difference between layoff and retrenchment? Option B, 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 B. Option B. What is the difference between layoff and retrenchment? Okay. So let's see the correct answer. Yes, correct answer is option B. Layoff is temporary, retrenchment is permanent. See, I give you the example of private organization. So you must be looking in the news that this private organization laid off the employees. So what is the rule? For 2 to 3 months layoff will be there on a temporary basis. Okay, for that 2 to 3 months that company will give the compensation, okay, to that employee. And there is a condition also, the company may reinstate that employee again into the workflows, into the workplace within 2 to 3 months. Okay, but after 3 months, if employee, if that organization didn't reinstate the employee, then it will be considered as permanent retrenchment. Okay, so always remember, initial that will be called as layoff. Layoff is temporary. After that, after 2 to 3 months, it will take the form of retrenchment, that is permanent dismissal, permanent separation from the organization. So option B is correct. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 6. Okay, which principle is most directly violated if two employees performing substantial similar work receive different wages because of gender? I hope you can answer this. Natural justice, equal remuneration principle, seniority principle, doctrine of ultra vires. Okay, so which principle talks about the gender discrimination? Equal pay for equal work to men and women, regardless of their gender. Yes, yes. Correct answer is option B, equal remuneration principle. So this was the easy question. Yes, correct answer is option B, equal remuneration principle. According to this principle, equal pay for equal work irrespective of their gender. Okay, chalo, let's move on to the next question. Question number 7. Under the Code on Social Security 2020, what is the objective of consolidating multiple social security laws? As I told you, under Social Security Code, 9 acts have been merged. So, what is the objective of consolidating multiple social security laws? What is the objective? To reduce the employee benefit, to simplify and expand the social security coverage to more categories of worker, to replace the provident fund completely, or to eliminate the gratuity provisions. Okay, so yes, correct answer is option B, to simplify and expand the social security coverage to more categories of workers. Okay, so please remember, objective of all the four labor codes will be around same. Okay, so objectives of all the labor codes is to simplify the process for both employees and employers, whether it is social security code or OHS code or wages code or industrial relation code. The primary objective of labor code is to simplify the process for both employer and employees. So therefore, correct answer is option B. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 8. Which of the following represents the correct sequence in the grievance handling process? Which of the following represents the correct sequence in the grievance handling process? Arbitration, complaint, investigation, decision, or complaint, investigation, decision, appeal if applicable, or investigation, complaint, disciplinary action, or complaint, strike, arbitration. What is the correct answer? What will be the sequence? B, 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 B. Okay, let's see the correct answer. Yes, correct answer is option B. कंप्लेन, इन्वेस्टिगेशन, डिसीजन, अपील. ठीक है, सो सबसे पहले कंप्लेन होगी. कोई भी जो एम्प्लॉय है वो सबसे पहले अपनी कंप्लेन करेगा, उसके बाद उसकी कंप्लेन की इन्वेस्टिगेशन होगी, फिर इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बाद डिसीजन लिया जाएगा. ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद अगर एम्प्लॉयर या एम्प्लॉय अगर उस डिसीजन से सेटिस्फाइड नहीं है, देन ही कैन make an appeal to the higher authority. So option B is the correct answer. Complaint, investigation, decision, and appeal. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 9. Which of the following is not the characteristics of an effective performance management system? Which of the following is not the characteristics of effective performance management system? Continuous feedback, alignment with organizational objective, focus only on annual appraisal, or employee development. So, which of the following is not the characteristic? C. Not the characteristic of effective performance management system. Yes. Correct answer is option C. Focus only on annual appraisal. This is not the objective of performance appraisal. ठीक है, सो अफेक्टिव परफॉर्मेंस मैनेजमेंट सिस्टम का जो ऑब्जेक्टिव है विल बी कंटिन्यूस फीडबैक, अलाइनमेंट विद ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल ऑब्जेक्टिव एंड एम्प्लॉई डेवलपमेंट. ठीक है, सो देयरफॉर ऑप्शन सी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. Option. Okay, so option B is the correct answer. Option C, sorry. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Okay, so this is a difficult one, I hope. So therefore, in room expectancy theory, if an employee believes that excellent performance will not lead to promotion despite working hard, which component is affected? Valence, expectancy, instrumentality, reinforcement. In room expectancy theory, if an employee believes that excellent performance will not lead to promotion despite working hard, which component is affected? Valence, expectancy, instrumentality, reinforcement. So what is the correct answer? Mansi answered option C. Mansi answered option C. Naveen answered option C. Shubham answered option B. Other candidates, make a random guess. Like you must have read this room expectancy theory. So make a random guess. Priya Darshini, Vidya, Kanika, Priya, Riya, Harshita. Okay, let's see the answer. So correct answer is option C, instrumentality. Correct answer is option C, instrumentality. See, here in this you have to remember 3 points. Okay, first of all, in Vroom expectancy theory, 3 factors are there: expectancy, instrumentality, and valence. Okay, so you must remember this sequence. First, expectancy will be there, then after that, instrumentality, and then valence. So this is the sequence. Now, what is the feature of expectancy? So in expectancy, effort is equal to promotion. Sorry, effort is equal to performance. Okay, in expectancy, if I explain in one word what is expectancy, so effort is equal to performance. Suppose अभी आप IBPS SO HR एग्जाम के लिए you are making effort, ठीक है, एंड उस एफर्ट से आप एग्जाम में परफॉर्म कर पाओगे कि नहीं कर पाओगे, दैट विल कम अंडर एक्सपेक्टेंसी. ठीक है, आफ्टर दैट सेकेंड पॉइंट इज इंस्ट्रूमेंटैलिटी. In instrumentality, you have to remember just single line: performance is equal to promotion. ठीक है, performance is equal to outcome. Performance is equal to outcome. Suppose आपने एग्जाम में परफॉर्म किया, ओके, नाउ परफॉर्मेंस के बाद आपने एग्जाम में परफॉर्म किया, अब उसके बाद क्या आउटपुट आएगा यू नेवर नो. ठीक है, सो व्हेन देयर इज अ रिलेशनशिप बिटवीन परफॉर्मेंस एंड आउटपुट, दैट इज इंस्ट्रूमेंटैलिटी. Got it? And then the third point is valence. Valence talks about only the output. ठीक है, कि सपोज आपका एग्जाम क्लियर हुआ कि नहीं हुआ, दैट इज द आउटपुट. ओके, सो दैट विल कम अंडर वैलेंस, की वैल्यू ऑफ दैट आउटपुट, की जो आपको आउटपुट मिला है वो वर्थ इट है कि नहीं है, वो आउटपुट डिजायरेबल है कि नहीं है. सो दिस इज द सीक्वेंस. ठीक है, फर्स्ट एक्सपेक्टेंसी, then instrumentality, then valence. In expectancy, effort is equal to performance. So remember like this: E for expectancy, E for effort. Okay, so in expectancy shows the relationship between effort and performance. After that, in instrumentality shows the relationship between performance and output. Got it? And after that, valence shows the relationship between the value of that output, whether that output is worth it or not. Got it? So this is the concept. So now here in the question, the employee believes that excellent performance will not lead to promotion. So here the question is talking about 2 points: performance and promotion. So it means performance and promotion is the output. So performance and output. So among these three, which depicts the relationship between performance and output? So instrumentality. Got it? So instrumentality shows the relationship between performance and output. I hope you get this point. Candidates, please write in the comment section. I hope you get this point. The relationship for the expectancy, instrumentality and valence. ठीक है? Okay. Chalo, let's move on to the next question. So therefore, for this question, correct answer is instrumentality. ठीक, चलो, let's move on to the next question. Question number 11. A company uses HR analytics to identify employees who are most likely to resign within the next 6 months. Which type of analytics is being used? Descriptive, diagnostic, predictive, prescriptive. Oh, this is easy question. So what I'm trying to do, like I put some of the easy questions among 25 questions. So I intentionally put some of the easy questions. So, okay, so which HR analytics will be used to identify employees who are most likely to resign within the next 6 months? So yes, correct answer is predictive analytics. We are trying to predict the future. We are trying to predict which employees are going to resign within the next 6 months. So yes, correct answer is predictive analytics. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 12. A trade union negotiates a wage agreement that applies to all the employees, including non-union members working in the bargaining unit. This outcome reflects which function of collective bargaining? Individual representation, collective representation, judicial function, managerial prerogative. So Mansi answered option B very fast. Good. Other candidates? A trade union negotiates the wage agreement that applies to all the employees, including non-union members working in the bargaining unit. Naveen B, Ria B, Priyadarshini B. Individual representation, collective representation, judicial or managerial. Bhavna B. Other candidates? Shubham B. So let's see the correct answer. Yes, correct answer is option B, collective representation. Okay, because here we are talking about all the employees. If we would have talked about only one employee, then it would be individual representation. Okay, but here in the question, it's talking about all the employees. Trade union is negotiating on the behalf of all the employees. Therefore, the correct answer will be option B, collective representative. Okay, chalo, let's move on to the next question. Question number 13. Okay, this is a case study. Easy one. A PSU reports high absenteeism, frequent dispute, low morale, declining productivity, and rising grievances. The HR head proposes only increasing salaries. Evaluate this proposal. Salary increase alone is sufficient because the most industrial dispute arises due to low wages. Salary revision should be accompanied by improvement in grievance handling, leadership, communication, employee engagement, industrial relation. Employee discipline should be tightened without consulting unions. Organization should reduce welfare measures to control cost. So yes, okay. Let's see the correct answer. Yes, correct answer is option B. Holistic HR intervention beyond salary revision is required. Yes, correct answer is option B. Salary revision should be accompanied by improvement in grievance handling, leadership, communication, employee engagement, and industrial relation. So this was an easy one. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 14. Okay, chalo. This you tell. Under the Industrial Relation Code 2020, standing order aim to determine the minimum wages for the workers, define uniform conditions of employment, and reduce ambiguity in service matter, register trade union, determine gratuity eligibility. So, what is the objective of standing order? Option B, 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 B. So what is the objective of a standing order? Yes, correct answer is option B. Define uniform conditions of employment and reduce ambiguity in service matter. Okay. Other options are related to other acts. For example, option A, determine minimum wages for worker. This comes under the wages code. Okay. Register the trade union. This will come under Trade Union Act. Determine gratuity eligibility. This will come under Gratuity Act under Social Security Code. So therefore, yes, for a standing order, correct answer is option B. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 15. Which of the following best illustrates the principle of natural justice in disciplinary proceedings? Suspending an employee immediately without hearing their explanation, allowing the employee a reasonable opportunity to present their defense before imposing punishment, punishing employees based solely on anonymous complaint, terminating an employee without conducting an inquiry. B, 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 B. Okay, so what will be the principle of natural justice in disciplinary proceedings? So, yes, correct answer is option B, allowing the employee a reasonable opportunity to present their defense before imposing punishment. So, yes, the correct answer is option B. Natural justice, it means we have to give equal opportunity to both employer and employee. Both the parties have equal right to present their point. Okay. So, we will give reasonable opportunity to both the parties, employer and employee. Chalo, let's move on to the next question. Question number 16. Which labor code provides the legal framework for gig workers and platform workers to be brought within the ambit of social security? Industrial Relation Code, OHS Code, Social Security Code, Wages Code. So, under which code gig workers and platform workers are covered? Okay. Before moving on to the correct answer, I want to know what is the difference between gig workers and platform workers from your side. Write in the comment section what is the difference between gig workers and platform workers. What is the difference between gig workers and platform workers? Any random guess, any common definition, easy definition that you can understand what is gig workers and what is platform worker? Akriti answered gig workers are part-time workers. Okay. Other candidates? You must have read this term in the news. Gig workers are the ones who work as freelance. Gig workers are like Zomato delivery boys. Okay. And what is then platform workers? Gig workers are mostly freelancers, and platform workers are the one who uses platforms like Uber, Swiggy, like delivery workers, bike drivers. Okay, let's tell me. So first of all, we will see the answer. Okay, so let's, yes, correct answer is option C, Social Security Code. Okay, so gig workers and platform workers come under the Social Security Code. Now, what is the difference? See, platform workers are those workers that uses the platforms of Zomato, Swiggy, Ola, Uber. Okay. Gig workers are also the broad terms for platform workers, but gig workers does not uses the platform. Okay, they may use the platform, they may not use the platform. For example, you can say like gig workers are platform workers, but platform workers are not gig workers. For example, I give you the example of domestic help. Okay, in your home domestic help comes, house help comes, so that domestic helpers, house helpers, that will come under gig workers. Okay, that will come under the community of gig workers, but they are not the platform workers. Why? They are because they are not using the platform. So you have to understand like platform workers are the gig workers, but gig workers are not the platform workers. Okay, platform workers are only those workers who are using the platforms like Zomato, Swiggy, Ola, Uber. Okay, gig workers can be platform workers and can be your house help, domestic helpers, house helpers. That will also come under the gig workers. So that is the major difference between gig workers and platform workers. Okay, I hope you understood the difference. Chalo, let's move on to the next question. Question number 17. Okay, a manufacturing organization faces repeated dispute because supervisor interpret the company policy differently across department. Which HR intervention is most appropriate? A manufacturing organization faces repeated dispute. Why? Because supervisor interpret the company policy differently. Okay. So, which is the correct answer? Increase the overtime wages, implement clearly drafted standing order, and train the supervisor on the uniform application. reduce the employee welfare expenditure, and outsource the HR functions. B, 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 B. So yes, correct answer is option B. Clearly implement drafted standing orders and train supervisor on uniform application. Yes. Correct answer is option B. To draft the clear standing order. Okay, let's see the next question. Question number 18. Which of the following differentiates the conciliation from arbitration? What is the difference between conciliation and arbitration? In conciliation, the third party imposes a binding decision. In arbitration, the parties negotiate directly. The conciliation facilitates settlement without imposing a resolution mechanism. Arbitration difference between conciliation. What is the difference between conciliation and arbitration? Okay, let's see the solution. So yes, correct answer is option B. Conciliation facilitates the settlement. Arbitration yields a binding award. C. Or in option B, conciliation facilitates the settlement without imposing a decision. This is one important point you have to remember. In conciliation, decision is not binding. Always remember this point, Akriti. In conciliation, decision is not binding. In arbitration, decision is always binding. See, settlement will be there in both the cases. In conciliation also there will be settlement. In arbitration also there will be settlement. The only difference is in conciliation that settlement decision is not binding on the parties. Got it? Whereas in arbitration that conciliation settlement result is binding. So option B is the correct answer. Let's move on to the next question, question number 19. Which HR metric would provide the strongest evidence that recruitment quality has improved over time? Number of resume received, percentage of new hires achieving successful performance rating after 1 year, number of recruitment advertisement published, number of interview panel conducted. Okay, so how you can evaluate that recruitment quality has improved over time? Yes, correct answer is option B. Percentage of new hires achieving successful performance rating after 1 year. See, for example, you will be selected this year. Okay, for IBPS SO HR, you will join next year. Any bank which you will be allotted. After 1 year, performance appraisal will be there. If your performance appraisal rating is positive after 1 year, then that means recruitment quality has improved over time. Okay, the candidates that the organization has recruited are good. Okay, so recruitment quality is good. That can be evaluated only through the performance appraisal, successful performance rating after 1 year. Got it? So yes, correct answer is option B. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 20. Which of the following is the best example of distributive bargaining? Distributive bargaining. Management and union jointly redesign work process to improve the productivity. Negotiations where each side compete over the division of fixed wage increase. Employees participate in quality circle. Employer and union jointly develop the skill development program. So what is the best example of distributive bargaining? I know you will get confused with the term distributive. Management and union jointly redesign work process to improve the productivity. Negotiation where each side compete over the division of a fixed wage increase. Employees participate in quality circle. Employer and union jointly develop a skill development program. Okay, let's see the correct answer. Correct answer is option B, distributive bargaining. Option B, negotiation competing over the division of a fixed wage increase. ठीक है, where both the parties are competing. ठीक है, distributive and integrative. There are two terms, distributive and integrative. Distributive कि दोनों parties अपना अलग अलग compete कर रही हैं. ठीक है, so अब competition हो रहा है, compete कर रही हैं, so one party will win, other party will lose. So in distributive bargaining, win lose will be there. In integrative, दोनों पार्टीज इंटीग्रेट होके साथ में मिल के बार्गेन कर रहे हैं, तो डेट विल बी विन विन सिचुएशन. ठीक है, सो ऑलवेज रिमेंबर डिस्ट्रीब्यूट का मतलब है कि दोनों पार्टीज डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हो गई हैं, अलग अलग हो गई हैं. ठीक है, एंड दोनों पार्टीज एक दूसरे से कॉम्पीट कर रही हैं, सो इट विल बी अ विन लूज कॉम्पिटिशन, विन लूज सिचुएशन. ठीक है, सो ऑप्शन बी इज करेक्ट. Negotiations competing over the division of a fixed wage increase. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 21. A bank introduces an AI-driven promotion system. Employees believe that the system lacks transparency and fairness. Which organizational behavior concept is affected? Job enlargement, organizational justice, workforce planning, span of control. A bank introduces an AI-driven promotion system, and employees believe that because of the AI-driven promotion system, the system is lacking transparency and fairness. So, which of the following organizational behavior concept is affected? Job enlargement, organizational justice, workforce planning, span of control. C, B, B. So let's see the correct answer. The correct answer is option B, organizational justice. See, the employees believe that system is lacking transparency and fairness. Okay, so when there is no transparency, no fairness, so it means justice is not being served. It means organizational justice is affected. Okay, so therefore option B is correct, organizational justice. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Question number 22. Which of the following welfare measure is classified as an intramural welfare activity? Educational scholarship for employees' children, housing facilities outside the factory, safe drinking water, canteen, sanitation facilities within the establishment, community health camp in nearby villages. Harshita, it will not affect planning. Wait, 1 second, let me explain. See, first of all, the question is talking about AI-driven promotion system. ठीक है, सपोज अभी तक जो प्रमोशन एनालिसिस का, परफॉर्मेंस अप्रेजल का जो मेथड था, या प्रमोट करने का जो मेथड था, ठीक है, उसमें अभी एआई नहीं था. अब ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने एआई उसमें इंक्लूड कर दिया है. सो employees are thinking that now the system is not transparent, not fair. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे वर्कफोर्स प्लानिंग का इसमें कोई इन्वॉल्वमेंट नहीं है, कोई रिलेशन नहीं है. वर्कफोर्स प्लानिंग का मतलब होता है कि हमें फ्यूचर में अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के लिए हमें कितने वर्कफोर्स चाहिए, ठीक है, वो हम लोग प्लान करते हैं. ठीक है, सो यहाँ पे ट्रांसपेरेंसी एंड फेयरनेस की अगर बात हो रही है तो इट विल बी ऑलवेज रिलेटेड टू जस्टिस. ओके. Okay, so for this question number 22, okay, question number 172, which of the following welfare measure is classified as intramural welfare activity? So many of the candidate has answered option C. Option B were also there. Okay, let's see the answer for this question. Intramural welfare activity. Correct answer is option C. Safe drinking water, canteen, sanitation facilities within the establishment. Okay, see, you have to understand there are two terms. इंट्राम्यूरल वेलफेयर एक्टिविटी एंड एक्स्ट्राम्यूरल वेलफेयर एक्टिविटी. ठीक है, सो इंट्राम्यूरल का मतलब है कि जो फैसिलिटीज विच आर प्रोवाइडेड इनसाइड द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. ठीक है, एंड एक्स्ट्राम्यूरल facilities which are provided outside the organization. ठीक है, so suppose educational scholarship, how, ठीक है, for employees children, housing facilities outside the factory, community health camp in nearby villages. These three options will come under extramural welfare activity, like those facilities which are provided outside the organization. Whereas option C, safe drinking water, canteen and sanitation facility within the establishment. So this is intramural because these facilities are providing inside the organization. Therefore, the correct answer is option C. Okay. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 23. A multinational company wants to identify employees who can successfully work across different countries and culture. Which competency should HR assess? Technical competence only, cultural intelligence, seniority, length of service. So what is the correct answer? Work across different countries and culture. So what you will see? Which quality you will see? Oh, 1 minute. I think screen stop. 1 minute, friends. 1 minute. Now the screen is visible. Now the screen is visible. Screen is not visible. 1 minute, second. 1 minute. 1 minute. Now it is visible. Okay, okay, okay. Now it is visible. Yeah, due to the weather condition, net connectivity is not coming proper. So I think therefore, okay. Question number, yeah, answer this question. What will be the answer for this question? A multinational company wants to identify employees who can successfully work across different countries' culture. Okay, let's see the correct answer. Yes, correct answer is option B, cultural intelligence. See, if there is multinational company and that company is planning to send its employees to different countries, so therefore cultural intelligence is required. Whether that employee will get adjust in that new country, new culture. Okay, so it is necessary for the employee to get adjust in that new country, new culture. So therefore, option B, cultural intelligence. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 24. Which statement best describe the purpose of predictive workforce planning? Recording historical employee attendance, forecasting future workforce demand and supply using data driven model, preparing salary register, conducting annual appraisal. Yes, correct answer is option B. Predictive workforce planning means you are forecasting future workforce demand and supply using data models. Okay, so always remember predictive means future, you are predicting something for future, and workforce planning is always related to your future planning of workforce of employees. So yes, correct answer is option B. Let's move on to the next question. Last question for today. This is a case study. Okay, a PSE, public sector enterprise, faces disengagement, rising industrial relation dispute, young talent attrition, and low productivity despite paying above market salary. Which integrated HR strategy is best? Increase the salaries by another 15%, reduce recruitment standard to fill the vacancies quickly, or develop the comprehensive people strategy combining leadership development, career progression, employee engagement, performance management, L&D, learning and development, and IR, industrial relation, or replace all middle managers immediately. Chalo, let's see the correct answer. Yes, correct answer is option C. Comprehensive integrated people strategy across leadership, engagement, L&D, IR. So yes, correct answer is option C. Okay, so this was the session for today. This was the last 25 questions, and we have completed 175 questions as of now. Okay, so we have completed 175 questions. I hope you like this session, and tomorrow is Friday, same time. Tomorrow again, I will try to bring more questions related to labor laws and labor codes. Okay, so I hope you like this, and bear for the net connectivity because there is red alert due to the weather conditions. So therefore, internet connectivity is somewhat disturbing in between. And okay, chalo, we will meet tomorrow, same timing, Friday 7 p.m. And please revise and please practice the mock test related to English, maths, reasoning also. Okay, those mock tests are also very important. Revise that those also. And please like this session, double tap the screen, and good night, take care, study hard, and be positive. Whatever you have doubt, you can discuss me in Telegram. Okay, yes, sure, Priyadarshini. I will bring more difficult question, and I am happy to see that some difficult questions I have included in this session, and you are answering all the questions. Okay, so I'm happy that your performance is going well for HR. That I am pretty sure your performance is good. Your all the candidates, your all performance is very good for the HR questions. Tomorrow I will bring more difficult and labor laws oriented questions. Rest, take care of English, maths, reasoning. That is also important. Okay. So try to solve moderate to difficult level questions for DI, for RC, for puzzles, for sitting arrangement. Try to solve PO level questions. Okay. So all the best. Stay motivated and keep your preparation going. Thank you. Good night. Bye bye. See you tomorrow, same timing, 7 p.m. Thank you.